Hi everyone, it's Alli. I'm going to start reading a little bit longer of a story. This is a story that me and some of my friends in my classroom started reading before we all had these stay-at-home days. I thought it'd be fun to continue our story. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning so that if people don't remember what happened, or if some people are joining us along for our story, they can join too, and we'll remember what happened. So this book is a Magic Treehouse book, which means it's part of a series. There's a lot of different books. And this is written by Mary Pope Osborne. We're going to read book number 6, which is called Afternoon in the Amazon. I wonder where they're going to go. So in this video today, I'm going to read the prologue, and I'm going to read chapter number 1. There are lots of different chapters in this book. There are 10 chapters. So there's going to be kind of a few different videos to get through this book. A prologue, which is the first part that we're going to read today. Prologue means before the story begins. So it's going to tell us a little bit about maybe what happened in the book before this and introduce us to our characters if this is new to us. I'm seeing a picture over here of a tree house. I wonder if that's the magic one. Let's start with the prologue. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Sounds like a place. Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. I know Pennsylvania is a state, so that must be the city. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious tree house appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister Annie climbed into the tree house. They found it filled with books. Jack and Annie soon discovered that the tree house was magic. It could take them to the places in the books. All they had to do was to point to a picture and wish to go there. Jack and Annie visited the times of dinosaurs, knights, pyramids, pirates, and ninjas. Those are probably the other books. So there might be a knight book and a ninja book. You could check those out. Along the way, they discovered that the treehouse belonged to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan is a magical librarian from the time of King Arthur. She travels through time and space gathering books. In their last adventure, Night of the Ninjas, so that must have been book number 5, because we're in book 6. Jack and Annie learned that Morgan was under a spell. Whew. To free her, Jack and Annie have to find 4 special things. In old Japan, they found the first thing, a moonstone. Okay, so they have 1 out of 4. That means they have 3 more. I wonder if in our story, we're going to look for another one of those magic objects. Now Jack and Annie are about to set out and search for the second thing in Afternoon on the Amazon. All right, so that's our prologue. Now we know a little bit about this book. We know our 2 main characters are Jack and Annie. I can see them on my cover. I know that there's a person named Morgan Le Fay, and they're trying to help this person by collecting the 4 special things. And they already have 1, so they have 3 more. I have a feeling in this book they might be looking for another object, and they might be talking about Morgan. So it's good that the prologue told us about that. We're now going to move on to chapter number 1. Where's Peanut? Hurry, Jack! Shouted Annie. Annie ran into Frog Creek Woods. Jack followed her. It's still here, Annie called. Jack caught up with Annie. She stood beside a tall oak tree. Jack looked up. The magic tree house was shining in the afternoon sunlight. We're coming, Peanut, Annie called. She grabbed a rope ladder and started up. I wonder who Peanut is. Jack followed. They climbed and climbed. Finally, they climbed into the treehouse. Peanut, said Annie. Jack took off his backpack. He looked around. Sunlight slanted across a stack of books. Books about ninjas, pirates, mummies, knights, and dinosaurs. The letter M shimmered on the wooden floor. Who was the character we heard about that starts with the letter M? Morgan Le Fay. This must be Morgan Le Fay's treehouse. M for Morgan Le Fay. We got it. I don't think Peanut's here, said Jack. I wonder where she is, said Annie. How do you know Peanut's a she? Asked Jack. Oh, I just know it, said Annie. Oh, brother, said Jack. Squeak! Annie laughed. Look, Jack! A small pink sock was moving across the floor. Yesterday, Annie had turned her sock into a bed for Peanut. Annie picked up the tiny lump. Squeak! I'm looking at this picture. Can you see who Peanut is? Peanut's a mouse! A brown and white mouse peeked out of the sock. She looked from Annie to Jack with her big eyes. Jack laughed. Hi, Peanut, he said. Will you help us again today? Asked Annie. In old Japan, Peanut had helped them when they had gotten lost. We have to find 3 more things for Morgan, said Annie. Jack pushed his glasses into place. First, we have to find a clue that tells us where to begin, he said. Guess what? Said Annie. What? Said Jack. We don't have to look very far. She pointed at a corner of the treehouse. In the shadows was an open book. And that is the end of chapter 1. I'm going to stop this video right here, but I will be coming shortly with the next video with the next chapter, so you can go ahead and read along with me. Have a great day, everyone.